Hey everybody, welcome back to the last video of the Massey Ferguson paint job. I promise you this is going to be the last one. It would have been the last one on the last video, but you know, things hold me up. I can't expect everything to go perfect all the time. But I got to make the best of what I got here. So let me show you what I've gotten done and where we left off. Hey guys, if you remember correctly, when I left you, I put primer on all these pieces, covered up the tractor, and that's where we're at. So here's where we're at now. I promised you I wouldn't be boring you with a bunch of sanding. So I went ahead and sanded this first coat of primer. And you might think this kind of looks bad, but in all honesty, this is exactly how this is supposed to look. That primer is 100% done its job. This looks rough. It's not. That primer's filled all those spots in. I have to put one more coat of primer on this, and that is going to be perfect. If I wasn't as picky as I am, I probably would just paint it the way it is, and it would look really, really fine. But I'm not gonna. One more coat of primer isn't going to hurt me. Same thing for these side pieces. They're going to get one more coat. They really don't need it. They didn't have the extreme rust that I had over here. My door's looking pretty okay. Another coat of primer won't hurt that one bit either. And after that, you know the drill, guys. After that, that primer's going to get sanded down, and then I will paint over that. That's going to be this last coat here is going to be the finished coat. This will be the barrier, the base, what have you, what you want to call it. That's where it's going to be. This stuff's all going to get painted red and shipped into the house. Mrs. JT's out of town for a day, so I can leave everything in the garage, and the house will kind of smell like paint, and she won't mind because she won't be here. Then it's time to get going on this part. This is not gonna, there ain't much metal on this, guys, and none of it's super, I mean, it's rusty. Well, you'll see what I get going here. I'm gonna basically just be scuffing and primer in that. Let's get going, guys. Now, if you were curious about what just happened here, allow myself to fill you in. I brought all the rest of these pieces back from inside my garage because I had them sitting in there cooking for a day or two because it was just cold out here. Now, today, I'm having better luck holding some heat in here. We got her, boy, she's this close to 70 right now. So, first round, I took my big flat sander. That round, I had 320 grit paper on here, and basically, guys, that was just to knock all the orange peel off. And if you don't know what orange peel is, if you look at the peel of an orange and see the texture of it, that's the coating. That's how your surface would look. That's called orange peel. So I was knocking all that orange peel flat. The second time, with the little spinny roundy DA sander, that was 400 grit. The 400 grit takes all of the 320 grit sand scratches, smooths them down so everything's nice and flat and level and true. So guys, it's warm, everything's sanded. I'm going to let the dust settle in here for a few minutes. I'm going to hit all this with the Pre-Cleano, and it's time for red paint. About time, right? Jeez. Can't get nothing done. Now friends, the idea with this cleaner, you get one rag extremely wet. Give it a wipe. That lifts and releases all the dust. Take the clean rag, come back across it to give it doesn't dry it, but just to give it the rest. That takes off the very tail end of the dust. let it dry, and you're ready to shoot paint. Well, here we go. Well, we got one down, hopefully one to go, but I might need two. There's a couple spots on that hood that it's hard to cover. Red is a very transparent color to paint. If you ever painted red, you'll know what I'm talking about. But we're gonna give her one more, see how it covers, possibly a third, get the clear on and get done with this for today. But there, friends, after a little time, I got all this red base coat. It's flashed off very nicely. Everything's looking real nice and smooth, especially that hood. That hood's looking like $1,000,000. So, got my temperature up to 60. I'm going to kick the heater on for just about 5 more minutes, see if I can get her closer to 70 in here. 2 quick coats of clear, and this project, this part of it anyway, is done. Then we'll take a day or two and tackle that mess, and this tractor will be done. I can't wait to roll it out of here. Coat number 2 going down, and we're all set with this. Stuff's looking pretty good, guys. Look at that. All right. Well, I'm going to let this stuff dry off just enough so that way I can kind of touch it without ruining it, get it hauled in my garage, and it's going to sleep there for the rest of the week and cure off where it's nice and warm, and I'm going to get started on that cab. Well, friends, here we are today. I got company. My buddy Hank come down with a little present for us here, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I got all the sheet metal that we painted up yesterday out of the barn. It's in the house, curing nicely. It's going to be great. Now, I'd mentioned that I've got a plan for these terrible drip rail sides of this cab. Now, the top of the cab's not rotted out completely. It's all in one piece. It doesn't look anything like this, but definitely got to get that fixed. Now, I said I had a little trick up my sleeve, and let me tell you about that now. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut that whole thing right off of there, and you can see here it's got a little drip rail. So my thoughts were I was going to find a nice hunk of sheet metal and try to bend it and bend that drip rail into it, and that was going to cause me some problems, because One, I got to find a nice piece of 4x8 galvanized sheet metal, or sheet metal, not sheet aluminum, because I'm going to have to weld at the top of that cab. So that was going to be a problem. So I thought about it for a while, and I was like, well, maybe I can make 2 pieces. But again, I don't have a sheet metal brick. So, and anybody I know that has one doesn't have one that's, nearly 6 feet long to cover the whole distance of that cab. So I'd end up having to take 2. Well, old Hank here, he come in a pinch, and he said, JT, I got just the thing for you. Hank, what is this, and where in the hell did you come up with it?
Well, you know how I love to recycle.
Yep.
And yeah, my sheet metal brake's only 36 inches, so we're going to have to make her in 2 parts.
Yep.
So when I come across this from a cash register, checkout aisle, this is just the base for the conveyor that I was looking at it and thought, well, it's already got the bend in it for you. It's already the gauge that you want. You can just cut it to fit your size there. And it's more perfect than I could make it. And
yeah.
No extra welds.
Right. We got the right amount of length, so I can... Let me show you what my plan is here. This is, well, it isn't even a plan. It's exactly what I'm going to do. So, obviously here, I've got more than I need. If I cut this right before this bolt hole, all the way down the whole length, measure my 6 or 7 inches I got to get to the top of the cab, cut it down the whole length. So yeah, I got a little cutting and fabricating to do, but at the same time, this is the perfect piece for this. I won't have any welds in the center. It won't look totally cobbled up. Actually, I have a feeling you won't even know that this was done after this whole thing is done. So guys, in the time of need, a friend has helped out indeed. Now all I gotta do is cut this up. Hank, I appreciate you bringing that, buddy.
Of course, man.
Nice. I probably ought to take you out to supper now for doing this. So
Not at all. Not at all. Just take me for a ride when she's done.
That we can do. All right, guys, we got work to do. Let's get after it. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is probably better than it was when it rolled out of Massey Ferguson in 1973 or 4, whatever the year this tractor is. That is gonna, oh, there we go. That is gonna be just perfect. Let me get you a better bird's eye view here. Yeah, there you go, everyone. So yeah, I'm gonna blast a couple tack welds in just to hold this on. This part, although it looks terrible, there's some metal there, so there's enough to weld to. I'm going to run some bolts, 4 or 5 bolts along the bottom seam here, like it was from the factory. Get a little filler over that overlap there, paint this, and that is going to be absolutely perfect. So guys, since I got one more side to do here yet, I'm not going to hold you up with a whole bunch of fill and sand. And I'll be honest, I'm probably not even going to spray this roof. I'm probably going to grab some white paint and a roller and just roll the roof white, because it's the roof. Who gives a shit? The only people who's going to see it is airplanes. And I don't care what they think. Let's get on with this. Well, friends, let's speed this up a little bit. So let me show you. I've had about 2 hours here of messing with that drip rail. In that time, I got my second drip rail cut out, ready to go on the other side. In the meantime, waiting for body filler to harden, I went ahead and taped a few things. That, guys, that looks almost factory. I mean, probably better than factory. I do say so myself. Little white paint on there. No one will ever know that that was a rotted out piece of junk that it was actually in better shape than, or worse shape than this side. This was the better side of the two, but never mind that now. So guys, what I'm going to do at this point, since this side's about ready to go, I'm going to fire this tractor up, pull it out, kind of sweep the floor up around here, pull her back in, and probably going to call her a night tonight, but tomorrow I'll go ahead and zap that other side, and then we're basically a day away. I got to get some red paint on that cab. We'll get all the sheet metal on this, and just for funsies. Did I just say that? Yep, I did. Hang around my daughter too long. I put the chrome stack on here just to fire it up. I thought, what the hell, why not? What are you up to? Want to come in the barn where it's warm? See what Dad's doing? Yeah, sniff that oil barrel. Mom will like that when you come in the house. Guys, that tractor's looking like a completely different rig already. Let's see if it'll start. Let's get it turned around and get back to work. Let that warm up for a few minutes while I sweep this out. Man, that's going to become my favorite tractor. I just know it. Well, there. So I got everything covered, as you can see. I got her all wiped down. I got the weather pretty favorable in here. I guess it's all over but the priming at this point in time, guys. Now, so what my plan is for this, it's kind of going to be like what I did for the frame of this tractor. Prime, paint, clear. That's it. That's it. There ain't very... I said I was going to take time on the sheet metal, which I did, because technically the only sheet metal on this is the fenders, and well, they're going to get the brunt of everything anyway, so I think it's going to look good enough. Wait 5 minutes and find out, because you're going to see the finished product in about 5 minutes, I would bet. Yeah, let's get to it. Guys, rookie mistake or fat finger. I didn't hit the record button, but I went ahead and got some red paint squirted on this thing. I still got another coat to go, so you didn't lose out on much. And it ain't like this is the finished product. It's just the nearly finished product. Getting close to being a masterpiece, my friends. Very, very close. Well, I guess. Second coat's a charm. Here we go. That's it, guys. It's all over but the clearing. So close. You have it, ladies and gentlemen. Not bad for a rusty old tractor, I suppose. Not my worst work, I guess. I still have to, I told you, I'm going to get some white paint and just roll that roof out because, well, that's just what I'm going to do. Yep, that is looking mighty sharp. See, now, when I back this out, remember this? You'll know I didn't just go buy a better tractor and take a picture of it and say I painted it. No, this is looking pretty darn good, guys. So here's what I'm gonna do. I don't feel like I want anybody to see me rolling paint onto a roof after I've done all the rest of this. So I'm not gonna film that part. I'm gonna go ahead and let this flash off for a day. I gotta get the heat back on here. That's not good. I'm going to let this flash off for a day. I'm going to get all the sheet metal on this tractor. Next time you see it, it's going to be a done project. Everybody ready for the big reveal? Here we go. guys, that is absolutely an unbelievable transformation on the crusty old piece of junk we rolled in this shop a month ago. Everything looks, I mean, this could be one of my best ones yet, although I guess I try to do them all pretty good. Nevertheless, it really sets her off right there, but man, I'm glad I took the time to buy all new hardware. That door turned out unbelievably better than it was. I gotta hang that up. It's a whole different tractor, guys. Well, friends, that's gonna do it for me today. That's another one off my list, things done. As you can see, we're getting some more fun snow, so maybe next weekend we'll put a blade on the back of that. See if the tractor will actually do a little bit of work. But guys, on that note, hey, thanks everybody for watching, following along with the Massey Ferguson 1105. Now we're gonna have to color the, I don't know, Massey Fergalicious. Sounds good. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Jesus Christ. That's what it sounds like when 500 tons of snow comes off the roof of your barn.
That's an attention getter.